presentation. I'm going to show you the tale of woe and what has really changed in marketing in like the last changed quite a turn myself down over here. All right, there you go. So I'm just doing this for the first time in a long time. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to open up some screens for you here in a minute, and we're going to talk about this. So nothing changes. Nothing. What they say, nothing's the same except that everything changes, right? Only change. The only thing that stays the same, whatever it is, some phrase like that, you know what I'm talking about. And that's the same in local marketing. I've been doing this for almost 15 years now, helping local businesses get more attract attention and get more business. And been pretty successful. And I've been through about 5 major changes like this in that time. And this is just the next one. The good news, the one that makes this one different than all the rest, is it actually is cheaper. Usually, it'd be like, oh, this new thing called Facebook ads you can run. It just costs a bunch, hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars a month. Oh, there's these new Facebook ads that cost so much more money. You always have a new opportunity as a business owner to spend more money with these platforms. Aha! But now, for the first time ever, it's actually gotten cheaper. And actually, I'm going to show you the actual test results we're getting in our own usage of it. I'm going to tell you what we're doing. I'm going to tell you, I'll show you the results of it, and it's costing way less. Like it's like 30% the price of the marketing programs we were doing just 6 months ago for a lot of clients. Right now, not to say that things in the past don't work at all, but this is now a broader application that makes it so much easier and less risky. When the market, what makes marketing risky is because it's so damn expensive. And you go out and spend $5,000 a month, you need, bang, 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 measurable results immediately. But what if it was costing you like 1,100, 300, 1,500? Now it's not so stressful. You don't have to stay up late every night. Okay. So first, this actually comes off of some research I was doing in my own client base. Because I'll be honest, I noticed that clients are having a more difficult time. They were finding it harder to be profitable. We're generating plenty of leads for them, more and more leads than ever, in fact. Right? We give them a lead and say, here's someone who wants to be a customer of yours. Call this person, right? And it's a hot lead. The person's in the right area, the right demographic, right financial levels, right amount of interest, right? Pretty good. And even though we were doing that, we saw that clients were having more and more trouble prospering off of these leads, or they're having consistent trouble, right? So, of course, the cost of leads is going up slightly over time because there's more, demand on that and inflation and everything else. So it made things even tighter and tighter as the leads got a little more expensive. So did the margins for the clients, and we had trouble. So I looked into it, and I realized that you would normally assume that, hey, if you've got a local business and I give you 100 leads, right, for people who are like, here's 100 leads. These people are interested in your service. They know who you are. They're interested in your service. And they've asked you to contact them. Here you go, right? And I put these on your desk. The first thought is, yay, look at all these great leads. The next thing is you realize these leads go cold in about 2 days, 3 days, maybe 5 days at the most. And most leads, even though people have asked to be contacted, will take 5 calls, 10 calls to get them to actually come and see you. So that means if I give you 100 leads, I've just given you the need to make between 500 and 1,000 phone calls somewhere in the next 24 to 48 hours. I didn't give you a lead. I gave you a problem. And every lead that comes in is a problem because now you have to call these people and chase them down and text them because people don't answer unfamiliar phone numbers. So there's a whole lot of games you play there. Or you've got to get one of your staff to do it who probably didn't sign up to be a appointment scheduler, right? They're calling out like this. So sometimes your staff presents it, they don't want to do it. The leads are bad, boss. I don't want to call these anymore, right? Or whatever, right? They'll come with various reasons not to call the leads, or I'll put it off till tomorrow because I'm too busy doing something today, and the leads get colder and colder. And what happens is you, as the business owner, you get more stressed. You're like, I just paid for all these damn expensive leads, and now they're just sitting here and not getting work. And so you've got to become a sales manager. And most business owners are one of the great things about entrepreneurs is kind of good at a lot of things, but you have to get really good at sales managing to get all these leads worked, right? You have to actually work the leads. So if you ever go to any major sales organization, you'll see like usually on the wall, work the leads, call the leads, right? Well, the leads weren't getting called. On my little investigation, because of all the effort involved, and because the expense was higher on the leads over time, it led to a lot of stress for the business owner because here's the expensive leads that are going to waste. And so that's a problem. Now, of course, you can say, well, too bad, call your leads. But really, when people are having trouble, you have to say, well, there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a better way. So I asked people, "What do you want?" And I found out that, "Oh, tell me if this resonates with you." All most business owners want is, I want people to know who I am. I want them to know how I uniquely can help them, and I want them to know how to reach me when they are ready to take action. Right? That way, look at it this way. That way, if you have those three things, they know who you are, they know how you can help them, right? And what's kind of unique about you, and they know how to reach you when they need you. That means every time your phone call rings, the person's reached this point. They want you. They know what you can do, and they want you. So you don't have to chase them. You don't have to like, oh, please come in. We can help you. You're not selling them to make the appointment. They're ready. They're actually pretty ready. And it might have taken them a day to get there, but more likely it took them weeks or months thinking about it, looking at it for the time to be right for them. So when you think about it, the only reason that any business out there needs to buy marketing leads is because not enough people nearby know who you are, what you can do for them uniquely, and how to reach you when they need you. You just don't have enough people who have that, right? Maybe a small group of people who call you every now and then. So, but if you had enough of those people, like think about the celebrity doctors, celebrity business owners don't need to have lead generation go on. They get enough all on their own because of who they are, how they can help, and how to help them. So that led me down the next road. Okay, well, how do I make it so that more and more people near you know who you are, what you do, and how to find you? So there's so many of them out there in your area that you always have a nice flow coming in without having to chase any leads. And I figured out how to do that. So I'm going to cover it right now. All right, take notes. This is the secret sauce right here. Okay. All right. You have to put your social media presence together. Social media is huge important. A lot of people go, "Oh, social media. I know you tried social media. It sucked. Didn't work. Oh, I don't know what to post. Trying to do that. Reach the wrong people. Blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This all goes away. This problem here. Let's figure a solution. Here's what happens these days. When somebody hears about you, one of the first things they're going to do these days is check you out on your website and check you out on your social media. If your website doesn't exist or is junk, it makes them less likely to buy from you. And if your social media is outdated, stale, the last thing it said was, "Merry Christmas 2017" is the last post, right? Barely used. People see that oldness and that staleness where they can't find it, and it makes them less likely to buy from you, right? So if you're falling down on like not having a good social media presence right now is like how not having a website was for a long time. You didn't have a website. What's wrong with you, right? Now everybody's got a website, and now you need to make sure your social media is there. Now we're going to use that tool because social media, if used right, is the cheapest, fastest, easiest way to kind of go viral in your rural area to reach more people and to actually make those connections that turn strangers into loyal customers, right? Ads don't train strangers into loyal customers. They don't. Relationships have to be built, and they have to be nurtured and created. And social media is phenomenal at that if you do it right. In one hand, it does not involve boosting posts. Don't boost posts. Friends don't let friends boost posts. The reason is the Facebook boosted post, it doesn't target like you think it does. It kind of goes everywhere, and you have people who are not really qualified for your service being reached. That's why a lot of people think that social media reaches the wrong people because they've been boosting posts, and that's not targeting ads. Okay, so I digress a little bit. What you want to do is make sure your social media presentation is correct. So make sure your Facebook and Instagram pages are in good shape. Do you need TikTok and Pinterest and YouTube and all that? You could say yes, but you don't really, because between Instagram and Facebook, you have almost all the adults there are to be covered in most areas for most markets, unless you have some weird niche thing or you're really younger group or something like that. Most adults, I think 74% of adults are on Facebook, 60% are reached by Instagram. So there's a lot of overlap there, and that's a daily number. And that number is getting bigger. Don't believe any propaganda. Facebook gets bigger and bigger every single day. More and more percentage of people, and we reach now past the point that like look at your current customer base. Just one of the last five customers that walk in your door, ask them are they on Facebook, and they'll say yes. Okay, so this is how that works, right? Okay, so make sure number one, your presence is good. That means fill that stuff out all the way. Facebook gives you some nice criteria on how you should fill your categorize your businesses and what you should put on your page. Do all that. Make the page alive. Start posting some stuff up there. Make it look alive, and then start running an ad as an advertisement to the targeted people, introducing yourself. Not running, hey, here's my special, come on in. Don't do that. Just introduce yourself with some paid advertising using the ads manager to the market. And once you do that, you're going to target the ideal people, of course, and you're going to be there in front of them, in front of them, in front of them. And what happens is, if you're targeting correctly, people see you, and they resonate with you, then they will actually start to follow you, right? They actually click the follow button, which means they're choosing you. And once they've chosen to follow you, the next thing is to they start interacting with you just a little bit here and there, just a little bit here and there, right? Does that mean you have to be all over social media? Well, if you're going to do this yourself, you kind of do. You need to kind of be there and be present 'cause when they communicate, you want to be there. But it's very exciting when you start liking the show. Believe me, it's not that you want to run away from. And there's other ways to have that taken care of that you don't actually have to even be on there yourself, but there's got to be some sort of action, right? You want to keep the page alive. You want to keep that interaction going. And what'll happen is if you do it right, oh yeah, one little trick, you want to make sure that everybody who visits your website is also getting included in advertising. But yeah, how's that work? You realize that 99% of the people who visit your site today did not call you, okay, or this month did not call you. And if they just surf away, you've lost them forever. So at one point they're interested in you, they visit your website, and then they, it doesn't mean they're not interested, but they get busy and distracted. A key part of any program that you're going to do with social media is following up on these people and making sure that every single one of those guys is continuing to see your messaging and that you just stay in front of them. Now, I'm not, nowhere in here is a little landing page and a bunch of special clicks and now special offer and cheap deals. No, none of that. Just introduce to people. Here's who I am. Here's how I can help you uniquely. Here's how to find me when you need it, right? And sounds simple, right? It's one reason it's less expensive because it's super simple. But and there's a lot of details I don't have time to cover in this, but the broad idea is that more and more people will see you. A larger and larger number of people will see you in your market, and over time, that means they'll start to recognize you and they'll start to remember you. And so when the time comes they need you, they don't go running out to Google somebody. They already know somebody. They know you. Okay. So let me show you if this will work here. If I can get the share my screen. It's all done on a shoestring here, guys. So I'm making stuff up here. All right, I'm going to share my screen. I blacked out the name here to protect the innocent. Okay. This is an actual report from one of our clients that we're doing this program for. All right, I'm showing you how to do it for yourself, but we do obviously I do it as a service for that's how I developed it. I'm telling you straight stuff. Here's how it's done. Here's what it looks like when you get this right. All right, so this is the report for February here. All right, total social media followers. All right, we started doing this with them in October. They had 1,338 followers. Now they've got a little over 2,000. So 700 people who in the last few months have decided, hey, I want to hear more from this person. I want to hear more from this business. I want more. You know what? How many of those 700 people do you think are possible prospects? Of these 2,000 people, how many of those people do you think are prospects, right? Yes. So if your follower number is going up, it means you're targeting the right people with your messaging. And remember, this is not an ad, come follow me. This ad did not say follow me. This ad was just like, here I am. And people said, oh, I like it. Follow. Cool, neat, right? That's kind of neat. So I look at basically each follower as a potential customer or a referral source because they'll know who you are. They'll see you more and more. When they follow you, they see more of your stuff, right? All right, moving on. So this is the social media exposure for this client. This is probably out of order. This is probably the first one, but this is the number of people who were introduced to this client in a month. So he just started at the very end of October, 360 people were introduced. Then 19,800, then 27,000, then 45,000, and then here 25,000. I'm not sure why it went down, but it was a partial month. But the idea is that so you've got 45,000 people this 1 month are introduced, right? You go, wow, John, you must have been spending a fortune in ads on that, right? Wow, 45,000 people being introduced to a guy in a month. Woo, right? $10 a day. The budget on this campaign and on the campaigns that I'm working with, we've got dozens of clients who are doing this, is $10 a day. I wouldn't do less than $10 a day, but I really wouldn't do more than $10 a day. That's all it takes to get this done. $10 a day, $3 a month, like the cheapest market you ever saw. And you're introducing yourself to 45,000 people. Now, of course, it's the same people every month, just more of them. So the people who saw month one are seeing again in month two and month three. These people are seeing you over and over in a friendly, easy, non-salesy, non-pitchy, non-goofy kind of way, right? They're becoming familiar with who you are, what you do for them uniquely, and how to reach you. And you'll be there in front of them every month on a regular basis. Every few days, they see you on social media. Just remind them that you're there. That's all. So they go, oh, yeah, I need that. Click. That's all it takes. You're one click away then, right? Easier than a Google search is a click, okay? Let me show you some other numbers. This is really fascinating stuff. So here's the engagement numbers on this account. So obviously it was low in October because it just got started. And then you get 300, 400. So we're looking right here. This is 445. This is 361 is this number. So 300 or 400 people a month are engaging. Now, an engagement is a share, a like, a comment, something like that. Basically, the person's the next step from follower is engager. Means the person is having a conversation with you or some sort of interaction with your stuff. This is not means that they aren't just dead people who don't care. These are live people who are interacting now. And you think these people remember who you are? Of course, every single one of these people know who you are because they interacted with you. And you can see you're getting a core deeper and deeper of people. And then finally, oh, I love this one. So this is the number of people who visited this person's website, this business website, who left without scheduling or calling or doing anything else. Okay, well, it's a cumulative number. So every month we're following up. These people are all being nurtured and tracked by the system and are also seeing the ads, also seeing the introduction ads, also being kept in the loop on Facebook and Instagram. Every time they go on Facebook and Instagram, maybe you show up every now and then, right? So now you're this nurture number. Imagine 846 people who visited his site and left are still seeing the message. Do you think they're making money off of that? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, ask yourself the question on all these. If you had a rising number of followers, you have 8,000. Yeah, you hear internet people, oh, I got a million followers. Yeah, it doesn't take a million followers to make a really successful local business. It takes a few thousand maybe to be really big and stable, right? So you get 2 or 3 or 5 or 10,000 local people who all follow you, who interact with you, who are seeing your stuff over and over. Do you think you'd make more money? Of course. And because the marketing is so cheap, you don't got to do a lot of math. Well, gee, if I get this many, there's no math involved. Just like, yeah, of course I'm making money, right? I got 5 new customers last month that I paid for whatever the marketing was. The marketing was a trivial amount. It means it's stress free, which I love because, man, stress of an expensive marketing campaign, that'll kill you. No one's got time for that, right? Okay. And then, wait, look over here, by the way. I'm looking at my own screen, so you see me looking away. All right. So, total website visitors. Oh, yeah. You'd expect with all this marketing that the website visitors would go up. It is. So, people are seeing them on Facebook and then searching or checking them out. The website visitors are up. Now, this guy has a very small, meager little website. It went from 200 to 239, which is like 10 or 20%, about 10%, do the math, public school math, whatever, 10 or 15% rise in visits over just a few months. And look how stable it is. That's cool, right? That's going up. And it will continue to go up because more and more people are learning who this person is. And that's all. He's not slamming his competitors and not anything else. Now, on this particular client, because we're also doing their website, we actually track the number of people actually called from the website. He used to get nothing, zero. That's not just because it was low October. He used to get nothing in a given month, right? Like maybe one, right? And almost nothing. Now, 9, 6. These are people who actually called for service just from the website. This does not count walk-ins, people who drove by and saw this, were more aware, referrals, people who are old customers coming back, which happens a lot with these things, right? This is just the ones that just came from the website directly. We went 6 or 9 different new customers there calling in. Do you think they made more money? Of course. Do you think they covered the meager cost of the marketing program? Of course, of course. So that has me very excited. This entire program is really it's the total change. Let me stop sharing this. Okay, I'm hoping you were seeing that screen just now. If not, comment, tell me I'm an idiot. That's all right. I'm just playing around with the system right now. But anyway, my point being this: there is no need to be obscure in your marketplace. There's no need to struggle to have people know who you are, how you're neat, and where to find you. That's all they have to do to go from stranger to loyal customer. Boom. Of course, you got to deliver good service into that, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that you wouldn't even be talking about this and have a good service you deliver to people that actually help them. All right. So look, if you want help with doing this, obviously my company does do this entire thing as a service. We charge $850 a month for the basic service on there. There's things if you don't want to ever be on social media, have ways to post it for you and does a whole bunch of stuff. I'll make it as easy as I can so that you can get on with just like doing your business. But I also teach you what else you can do, even when we're running together, what you can post. I have a whole training document on what to post to get new customers on your social media, this kind of thing. So anyway, if you're interested in finding out more of that, just DM me and I'll put you. We'll show you what it does and all that stuff. But it's pretty inexpensive. So otherwise, I've just given you. I mean, dude, this is dangerous for me to tell you. This is how it's done. There's no more need. Like you notice that I didn't have a whole bunch of stuff. You're not buying bus ads. You're not buying search clicks and going into Google AdWords. None of that. You don't need to. I mean, you can. I guess this marketing works with everything else. So if you're doing postcards and doing other stuff, keep doing it. This makes everything work better because everybody recognizes you. As soon as they visit your website, by whatever means they got to your website now, they're being tracked and followed forever and ever. And that just accumulates. And that's cool. So anyway, I recommend it highly to you. I'm very excited about doing it. Our customers are loving it. It's pretty much a universal success for almost all of them. I mean, like I read a 90% success rate with people being like, oh, yeah, I want to keep doing this forever. Okay, great, no problem. Because, make money and you're not stressed about it. That's always fun. All right. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for sticking around, and hopefully somebody sees this. Let me know you saw the video. Just comment, like it, something like that, so I know this actually went out. All right, bye.